he would respond to people's mean comments.
Dude, I'm terrified of this guy. Look, he's got shark eyes. This motherfucker's a psychopath.
Featured a persona costume and
Game dude.
I screwed them when I forced them to read your stupid copy.
Bro, why would you say that? Why would you say that, Game Dude?
Game Dude was a YouTuber who garnered an
He's
audience.
the Game Dude. He is so rude. He is the gamer with a bat. Look at him there. He's so mad. He's the gamer with a bad attitude.
Game Dude was a YouTuber who garnered an audience during the website's infancy. Unfortunately for him, he isn't remembered.
Nostalgia, bro. I used to watch Game Dude as a kid, bro, because, like, it was a little bit before my time to be into, like, Doug Walker or AVGN or anything, but I was still into them because I was, like, an internet nerd. I was too young to realize that, like, Game Dude and Irate Gamer were, like, fucking losers. So I thought they were, like, serious content creators everyone respected. So I remember watching this shit when I was a kid and being like, he is the Game Dude. I just thought there was, like, you know, this is what YouTube is.
For making entertaining videos. He is remembered for being a ripoff of respected creators, an alleged stalker, and for his terrible relationships and life choices. From his hatred of his parents for his circumcision to...
Yo, he's destroying him, bro. Why you gotta do him like that, bro? I know he has a little insecurity about but bro.
His toxic relationship with his ex-girlfriend, to his legal issues, all of which would lead to him fleeing the country of Canada for Mexico and later Hong Kong. This is the story of Game Dude, the gamer with a bad attitude.
Rude.
In 2004, a young man named James Rolfe started creating comedic reviews of old video games. These game reviews featured an extremely angry and vulgar nerd character who gets irrationally mad at video games that are so old there's literally not even a point in caring. Over time, the series called Bad NES Games would develop into the angry video game nerd franchise. The series still gets new episodes even to this very day. Not only that, it spawned a movie, multiple video game adaptations, and merchandise. But most importantly,
shout out Limited Run Games for that game.
Episodes even to this very day. Not only that, it spawned a movie, multiple video game adaptations, and merchandise. But most importantly, James would become one of the most influential online content creators ever.
Basically
His
the GOAT.
impact is still felt to this very day. James's creation would be the spawn of a very popular content genre on YouTube, reviewing pieces of media and
basically people just ripped him off a lot for no reason. I don't know why. Everybody worshipped him.
Some creators inspired by him would go on to become as big or bigger than him, such as John Tron, Scott the Woz, and many others.
Okay, he's cool.
Almost every video game or piece of media review on YouTube is debatably in some way influenced by him. If you are clued into the AVGN lore even a little bit, you probably know about some of the infamous creators who looked up to him a little too much. Some who were debatably a little bit more than just inspired. They were more so, straight up copycats and ripoffs. The most popular of which would be the Irate Gamer, also known as Chris Nia.
Like, he wasn't even trying. The Irate Gamer, nobody uses the word irate ever. He was just trying to think of anything else besides the word angry.
Whose series still runs even to this day.
Irate Gamer He's still around? He's still making videos? Okay, now he fell off. What the hell is this? Oh my god, no, this is Season 10 playlist. Burger Time review.
Irate Gamer is now on Patreon. Get early access to all things Irate Gamer weeks before they're released on YouTube. So click on the link in the description for exclusive content only on Patreon.
Okay. What the fuck is that face he's making? And then that one too? He's like, oh my god.
Both volumes of the Irate Gamer Show are available on Blu-ray now. Hit the link in the description. Alright, I'm hungry. Time for some video game homestyle cooking.
Alright, that's enough of that. Let's get back to the game.
Receive a lot of hate from fans of the AVGN, and he even had a beef with James. But after all these years, the AVGN and the Irate Gamer would collaborate in a sort of bittersweet video in July 2020. An early YouTube beef ended by reviewing the Dick Tracy NES game. Although we're not here to talk about the Irate Gamer today, rather a more obscure and esoteric individual from this time period of early YouTube. The Game Dude, whom I mentioned in passing in my AVGN video as, quote, a story for another day, end quote. Joining YouTube on May 30th, 2007, Game Dude would at some point, most likely around July 2008, start making reviews of old school video games. In these videos, he would review them very similar to the AVGN. Game Dude, real name Alexander Bodder, was someone who was pretty open about being a fan of the AVGN.
They're inspired.
In contrast to the Irate Gamer, who seemed to act like James didn't exist for a while. In a September 2008 forum post, which contains some foreshadowing for what's to
like Avatar, bro.
come, Alexander says he was originally called the Annoyed Gaming Geek.
The Annoyed Gaming Geek.
But changed it to Mega Gamer, as he felt Annoyed Gaming Geek was a ripoff of the Angry Video Game Nerd. He settled on calling himself Game Dude after deciding Mega Gamer was a ripoff of the Irate Gamer. A theme in Alexander's creations is constantly revising them, as you will soon learn. Sometimes he would say his videos were inspired by the AVGN, like in this forum post, for example, or even right in the intro of some of his videos. But at the same time, his YouTube About section claimed his video game reviews weren't actually reviews. Instead, they were satirical.
These are not reviews, but satirical comedic parodies of angry gamers that yell at games for minor
parodies of angry reviews on YouTube. For more examples on how all over the place Alexander was, he talked himself down a lot.
I'm going all out, and I'll intertwine some live action stories in there too, but not be a ripoff. Maybe even have my own theme song. You can do it, Game Dude.
At some points, claiming he thought his video sucked, while also mentioning how James Rolfe had actually given Alexander positive feedback.
No, he didn't, dude. Come on, Game Dude.
But also at the same time acting like he was better than anyone who thought his videos were bad. Not to mention in this very post he asks for criticism, but then says he just started making videos, so there's no point in even criticizing them, claiming that his flaws were obsolete. We are already painting the picture.
I gotta take a bong rip for this face right here, guys. We gotta smoke some Game Dude.
Of someone who seems like they can't make up their fucking mind. I've seen a lot of people describe Alexander's videos as shit. To be honest, I really haven't watched too many of his videos, but from the very little I've seen has come across as cringe to me personally. But I will say he did seem skilled in the editing department. In this era of YouTube content,
look at this, bro. Game Dude's going crazy.
Most people had no idea how to edit at all, or at least edit well. Alexander had some pretty well done edits for the time, which makes sense when you take into account he was a Canadian film student at the time. His YouTube videos would garner him slight popularity. At one point being the 85th most subscribed comedian in Canada. This next fact may seem
most subscribed comedian in Canada? The green screen days? Yeah, for real.
Hard to believe, but he was even recognizable in public, and he was interviewed by a retro video game store because of his channel.
He's famous.
So, how did it all go wrong for Alexander?
He was on top of the world.
Many people did not like Alexander. They thought his videos just sucked, and they felt he self-promoted himself too much online and were annoyed by it. As Alexander people did not like Alexander. They thought his videos just sucked, and they felt he
You've seen the angry video game nerd. You've seen the irate gamer. Now meet the game dude. I am the game dude. Watch me now. The link is still broken, and I checked, like, I'm gonna assume this says 2 weeks ago. Watch me now.
Self-promoted himself too much online and were annoyed by it, as Alexander would constantly comment on other people's videos advertising his channel. So much so to the point creators like the irate gamer would ban him from his comment section. What wasn't helping Alexander and stopping the large amounts of negative feedback was the fact Alex couldn't help himself but respond to pretty much every person online who said something critical about him. He would respond to people's mean comments.
Dude, I'm terrified of this guy. Look, he's got shark eyes. This motherfucker's a psychopath. Look at that. That's scary. Oh my god.
Calling them homophobic slurs, and he would use other colorful language. When someone made a video commentating about Alexander's videos, he would, allegedly, leave so many comments on their video, it would end up having more comments than views.
Come on, game dude. He looks like the shark from Finding Nemo. Oh man, you're right. They look a lot alike. They really do. That's insane.
It is an extremely uncommon thing to happen on YouTube. The uploader would try banning him, but it didn't matter because Alex would then use multiple accounts to continually comment on the video. Alexander would use a similar tactic when engaging in a war with a certain satirical Wikipedia clone that documents online drama and features a lot of offensive content. Alexander was mentioned on the website and had
he doesn't want to talk about Encyclopedia Dramatica
of him on it. So he apparently tried making an account to take it down.
Okay.
The moderators realized what was going on and then deleted his account. And just like on YouTube, that wouldn't immediately deter him. Alexander allegedly would then make up to 8 accounts on the website trying to take down negative content about himself. In response to Alexander trying to erase content about himself, users of the website made a new article that sarcastically praised Alexander as a hilarious YouTuber they all love.
Sarcastically? I'm dead ass. I love Game Dude. What are you talking about, bro?
A common rumor that would get spread around by trolls, especially those from a certain Wikipedia clone, is Alexander was a closeted furry and or zoophile. The furry speculation comes from the fact he typically reviewed video games starring anthropomorphic characters, referenced animals a lot in his rants, and featured a persona costume in one of
Game Dude!
his videos.
Game Dude? Care to explain?
Allegations of having sex with animals comes from Alexander's inability to not respond to mean comments. The story goes that someone made a comment that he had sex with animals and Alexander responded to it, saying he did while he forced it to read the user's mean comment.
Bro, you can't say that! You can't say that, Game Dude. Calm down.
People on that Wikipedia clone then ran with the narrative that he has sex with animals after that.
Oh my god,
when Alexander was recognized in public and interviewed, he was actually asked about this.
I don't know, one of the YouTube users actually randomly said something about screwing sheep, and then as a joke, I was like, yeah, I screwed them when I forced them to read your stupid comments.
Bro, why would you say that? Why would you say that, Game Dude?
Users actually randomly said something about screwing sheep, and then as a joke, I was like, yeah, I screwed them when I forced them to read your stupid comments. And then all the typewriting chimpanzees that took it too seriously.
The store that
Too
conducted this
serious?
interview apparently didn't seem to like him
YouTube
very
users.
much, as they show off memes saying he rapes animals while he responds to the allegation. They even linked
PR
his
nightmare.
satirical Wikipedia page in the description of the video. Commenters on the interview thought it was funny that Alexander's supplier of video games didn't seem to like him very much. While I was working on this video, I got to talk to Game Dude historian and content creator,
top
okay
Game
fine,
Dude
be that
A-log.
way. During our short exchange, he mentioned a new piece of Game Dude information. He claims while researching Game Dude, he spoke to the man who conducted this interview. The interviewer described Alexander as a douchebag and acted exactly how you would expect. One last thing a lot of people seemed to be annoyed with that Alexander did was make a lot of revisions of his videos. He would upload multiple versions of the same video, normally with slight edits. This was done because YouTube used to have a 5-star rating system.
Oh, he's gotta make him perfect. He's the game dude. Such a chud. The guy selling him games hates him. He was like in on the trolling.
Alexander wanted all of his videos to have above a 3.5-star rating. So he would take down videos that didn't get the reviews he wanted,
dude,
slightly
it's over.
edit them, and then post the new version.
5 stars
because
every
of this,
time.
his audience got annoyed and would purposely give these revisions bad reviews. This would cause a cycle of him constantly reposting his videos over and over again until he got a good star rating. He didn't care that doing this would cause him to lose subscribers. All he wanted was good ratings. For an
fuck's
example
wrong
of
with
how
him?
often he would take down and then repost videos, his review of Smash Bros. Brawl was apparently reposted well over 50 fucking
Oh
times.
my god, dude.
And this video was not
Chill,
only
game
slightly
dude.
tweaked every time he reposted it, at one point he just started refilming the fucking video. Okay, fine. Maybe he was being a little annoying, but it seems like he had good intentions. He was just trying to improve his older content. Although many viewers thought the revisions were worse than the original and made the videos at times nonsensical. There was a really confusing saga with his Brawl and Super Mario Kart videos. Apparently he hated both of them and tried combining the two into one video.
What?
And then he would take down and revise that hybrid video multiple times. Not only was he not respected by a lot of the audience for this type of content, but also
What was he flipping out there? Wait,
then he
what?
would take down and revise
Game dude,
that
it's okay,
hybrid
bro, it's
video
okay.
multiple times.
Calm
Not
down, Game
only
dude.
was he not respected by a lot of the audience
No,
for
Game
this
dude,
type
no,
of content,
Game dude.
but also apparently
This guy's using this clip of him like over and over.
he was not respected by students at his school,
No.
with an alleged anonymous student writing the following to one of Alexander's critics.
I know him personally. He is in my digital design class at Vancouver Film School. He gets no respect from anyone. The course is designed to prepare would-be designers for professional positions in the industry.
Game dude.
As far as we are all concerned, he has done nothing but waste his time and money.
Oh, dude. Everyone hates him. It's over, game dude. Dude. He is the game dude. He
And this program is in no way cheap or low quality. He has learned some basic skills with green screen, digital compositing, and sound editing, but has not expanded his interests in any way. Same old stupid shit about stupid forgotten video games. He has the potential to do so much, but chooses to continue down this ridiculous path, which is why he is dead bottom in the class for quality of work. He is a walking joke, and everyone holds his work as being the low watermark for the entire school.
Oh my god! Everyone holds his work. That's just mean. This guy just wanted to fucking hate on this guy. It's like, yeah, everybody's better than him here. He sucks, dude. Everybody hates Game Dude.
Hey, remember when Alexander talked about how James had given him positive feedback?
Remember when Alexander talked
that they
about
spoke?
how...
Some would cast doubt on how close the two
Someone
creators
cast
were.
doubt.
Speculating Alexander made it seem that they were a bit more close than they actually
What
were.
you mean, they were best
Some
friends?
speculated they never spoke at all. In response, Alexander dared them to ask James. Feeling confident, James would say he knew of Alex and that he liked his work. Well, at a
No, not
Q&A
this
panel
clip!
in 2010, James Rolfe appeared to have no
No, Game
idea
Dude.
who he was when asked. Although James would later clarify to Alexander, the reason he didn't recognize him was because the asker referred to him as his real name, and not as Game Dude. And if they said Game Dude, he would have responded totally differently. But the
Miss this whole YouTube vibe videos to make me cringe the same. Yeah, I've been on like an old nostalgia wave, like looking back at this kind of shit.
video is pretty damaging without that context, and people would use it to attack him further. As time went on, Game Dude videos became more rare and shorter. His final 2 reviews would be released in 2012, and each would be under 2 minutes. He didn't even appear on camera in his final one. The beginning of the end seems to have started in 2013. Alexander would private all of his YouTube videos, citing privacy reasons. This is because a troll would find Alexander's, at the time, girlfriend on Tagged, the dating website she and he met on. Appeared in some of the Game Dude videos, so her existence was known among the audience.
Scared to say Encyclopedia Dramatica, but doxing the stalking victim? Fucking whatever.
And she was his first girlfriend. The troll and her messaged and had a conversation. The troll then dumped the chat logs in an
Yo, she's going, Game Dude. Game Dude. I'm free on Friday. If you want, we can go for coffee or something. Want to make love in my house after coffee? Okay, maybe. Game Dude, no!
effort to humiliate
It's over, Game Dude.
the Game Dude and his girlfriend. The logs show Alexander's girlfriend claiming she was not in a relationship and then planning to meet up for sex. She also appears to diss Alexander in these messages. A few days after this incident, Alexander reopened his channel and returned to posting revisions of his reviews. Nothing too out of the ordinary for him, although the normalcy would quickly shift into abnormalcy. Alexander would start posting very bizarre videos. The first one being a video of seagulls with Imagine by John Lennon playing in the background. He would then do one of his infamous revisions. In this revision, he spliced in clips of him lip-syncing to the song. After uploading that video, it would get taken down due to copyright. Then he moved on to lip-syncing Rick Ashley's Never Gonna Give You Up, and it was made clear this was for his ex-girlfriend. It's disputed whether or not this was made in an effort to win her back, or if this was Alexander trying to troll her. Alana was not thrilled. In leaked Facebook messages, she refers to him as a creep and claims he is stalking her, going as far to threaten calling the police and saying she already filed a police report. Actually, it turns out she filed multiple. Because of this, Alexander would permanently delete his main channel from YouTube. It was alleged he would harass her by calling her house up to 60 times a day, stalk outside her house for up to 7 hours, try talking to neighbors and her family members, try to physically restrain her from entering her home, hide in the bushes at night to try and wait for an opportunity to talk to her, and more. All of this would lead to a court case being scheduled. Alexander would continue uploading strange videos. Some of them were of wildlife, him messing with the police because he was convinced they were out to get him, and creating hours of content of him ranting about his relationship. One of which is a 2-hour-long video reenacting the story of his relationship with toy dinosaurs.
Bro.
I am not making that up. Outside of the hours of video content, he also wrote a blog post about the situation, which has been described as novel length. The blog post features bizarre images showcasing him and her portrayed as
Oh my god. I followed her. She followed me. It is possible that she actually set me up. Oh my god. Even though her mom told her I was the culprit. I think he's the culprit, bro. Yeah, Game Dude's insane. Game Dude's kind of a crazy guy.
Pac-Man characters to try to prove he wasn't stalking her. Now, arguably the most notable thing to come out of Alexander's writings and video rants about the relationship is because Alana tried to cheat on him, Alexander then accused her of being guilty of rape, although his definition of rape is different from the more commonly accepted definition. He claims since she wasn't upfront about her sex life, she was putting Alexander at the risk of STDs, thus rape by deception. He seemed to admit it may have been far-fetched to call her a rapist over that, but he maintained he still felt violated. Alexander broke one of the 10 commandments. Alexander resented his parents.
He broke the 10th commandment.
Well, maybe not anymore, but certainly
that's his worst sin of all. He broke the 10th commandment.
At the time he did, Alexander hated his parents due to the fact they had him circumcised, which he openly spoke about quite a bit.
No, don't get him for this, dude. No, game dude.
Adult. Circumcision was adopted in Canada during the 1900s primarily to prevent masturbation, and the procedure is done currently on 30% of men. Now, why is this always brought up in conversation regarding Game Dude? Circumcision is a serious topic, and I'm sure many feel bad for him. The reason this is always brought up, and the reason he's always made fun of for this, is mainly due to the fact he was an active member of a forum dedicated to the TLC Tugger. The TLC Tugger is a device put onto the penis to try and restore and regrow the
Game dude, no. He was led so far astray from the light of AVGN. What happened?
foreskin. Alexander would admit to using it in forum posts and would also describe the issues he had with it in gross detail. He actually tried removing these from the internet and even bragged about it to users of that
Epic lols, I just pwned the gay douche.
Wikipedia clone, although archives of what he said remained. Now, I don't know why his parents circumcised him. I do know, however, he was not a big fan of that decision. Not only did he try to grow it back, within the hours of content detailing his side of the story, he would viciously attack his parents at times for having the procedure done on him. Life kept getting worse for Alexander. Prior to the court date, he apparently became homeless after he was assaulted by his roommate with a frying pan. He and his mom weren't in contact, so when she visited his home to find him no longer there, she reported him missing. This made the police think he was trying to escape the upcoming court date. When the day for the court case came, the story goes, Alana broke down in tears at the witness stand, ran out of the courthouse, and the case was dismissed. Fearing further prosecution, Alexander then fled to Mexico. He apparently took a bus and went down south to America, then ended up in Mexico. A few years later, in 2015, he told someone on Skype he then ended up traveling to Hong Kong. In 2016, a movie was released in which he appeared in it, making people such as Mr. Medicare believe he had returned to Canada. Although the movie had a trailer released in 2012, and Alexander was in the trailer, meaning despite the movie releasing in 2016, he had filmed it prior to leaving Canada. He sometimes sporadically reappears online on his barely used Twitter account, whether that's liking a Bernie Sanders tweet or calling LeBron James a massive pussy.
Way. Is that really his account? What's it like still being a massive pussy sellout free Hong Kong? What the fuck is he talking about? To LeBron James?
Other than that, no one knows where on earth the Game Dude is or what he's been up to, and I bet he probably wants to keep it that way.
What the fuck happened to him, dude?